Up next, we have the Wildlife Hero Awards opening remarks by Mr. Lionel Requena. So we will be preparing that video. He couldn't be present today, but he left some words of remarks for the opening of this Wildlife Hero Award.
Good afternoon. It is my distinct honor and privilege to address you today for Belize's first Wildlife Hero Award, a recognition of the Belize Wildlife Ambassador Program exemplary work under the stewardship of the Belize Wildlife Referral Clinic. The Belize Wildlife Ambassador Program is a flagship program that continues to train Belizeans countrywide to be ambassadors of wildlife. To be an ambassador of wildlife in Belize certainly is a unique privilege and an opportunity that people have to coexist with nature. It is important that we continue to live in harmony, striking a balance with nature and development. And it is imperative that we continue to be at peace with nature. In 2018, when the Belize Wildlife Ambassador Program initially started with funding from the Protected Areas Conservation Trust and the World Wildlife Fund, it is noteworthy to indicate that that initial investment by those two agencies was critical for the initiation of the Belize Wildlife Ambassador Program. Then there was a gap. There was no funding, and in 2021, during the peak of COVID-19, we issued a call for proposals, and we were happy to receive a proposal from the Belize Wildlife Referral Clinic to expand and to continue the Belize Wildlife Ambassador Program, a program which has been co-financed by GIZ Selva Maya project, which has enabled the training of over 600 Belizeans as wildlife ambassadors. Trained ambassadors, wildlife ambassadors include police officers, soldiers, youths, private sector individuals, community leaders, indigenous leaders, and Belizeans from Corozal to Toledo. The Belize Wildlife Ambassador Program is a flagship program, which is not only recognized locally and nationally, but it is internationally recognized by the Global Environment Facility. In fact, the Belize Wildlife Referral Clinic in 2023, because of the resounding success of our collaborative efforts and the funding through the UNDP Jeff Small Grants Program, ANPAC, and of course, GIZ and WWF, the Belize Wildlife Ambassador Program was recognized by the Global Environment Facility through its Inclusive Challenge Program. Really a competitive program which was open worldwide. And nominations were received and managed by the GEF based in Washington, D.C. And we were so happy to note that the Belize Wildlife Referral Clinic, Belize Wildlife Ambassador Program, was the recipient of the GEF Inclusive Challenge Award. That award was presented because of the bold demonstration of the Belize Wildlife Ambassador Program commitment to investing and preserving and protecting our wildlife in Belize. It is imperative to note that the Belize Wildlife Ambassador Program continues to leap from success to success. In fact, success breeds success, and the work of the Belize Wildlife Referral Clinic in establishing a 24-hour hotline for the reporting of injured or wildlife emergencies is really another excellent step towards ensuring that we coexist with nature in Belize. And it is imperative to note that the recognition of the first ever Belize Wildlife Hero is yet another step in the right direction. It is my understanding that 15 nominees were submitted to the Belize Wildlife Referral Clinic, and indeed all wildlife ambassadors must be commended for their commitment to the training program, but equally important is their day-to-day interaction with wildlife. And today, we recognize wildlife heroes who have gone beyond the call of duty. They have demonstrated leadership, tenacity, but also action in preserving and driving our relationship with nature, protecting, investing in our wildlife protection programs. We recognize that Belize continues to be a shining example wherein we coexist with nature, and we need to continue to invest in people and of course invest in nature. And when we invest in both, we will always have positive returns. As our national anthem mentions, we're blessed with wealth untold, and that wealth untold can be lost if we do not preserve and protect and reconcile our relationship with nature. The recognition of the wildlife heroes today is exactly a bold step forward. We congratulate the Belize Wildlife Referral Clinic for their steadfast leadership in partnership with the Ministry of Sustainable Development and Climate Change, the Forest Department, and the National Biodiversity Office, agencies who are working tirelessly to ensure that we coexist with nature and that we continue to focus, to be laser focused, investing in the One Health approach. And so the wildlife hero is an important distinction, recognition, and we congratulate all recipients today. And it is to recognize individuals who have contributed to wildlife preservation and have demonstrated positive role models. And these individuals have invested in training, preventing human-wildlife conflict, biodiversity loss. And it is imperative to note that your work continues to inspire the next generation of wildlife ambassadors. In closing, I thank you for the privilege and the opportunity to deliver these brief remarks, and we encourage you to continue to be laser focused as we continue to upscale and invest in our human development priorities. It is only by investing in people and in nature that truly we will continue to have Belize a beautiful and vibrant country, leapfrogging its sustainable development goals and priorities, one community at a time, one project at a time. I thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Requena. Wonderful words and highlighting the importance of this Wildlife Hero Award, right? Like he mentioned, it highlights, the initiatives of these individual persons across the country making a difference for wildlife in Belize. So without further ado, what we shall be doing is we shall be presenting the nominees for the Wildlife uh, Hero Awards. Um, and I will be asking Max to present who are the nominees for today. And
After that, we will share the winners.
That's right.
Surprise!
All right, guys, so we will be going through each and every one of our nominees one by one and giving you some of the reasons that they are fitting to be our wildlife heroes here. So let's get on into it. Here are our 15 nominees. All of them come with a great argument as to why they should be wildlife heroes, why they are going above and beyond in their communities to, make this happen, keep wildlife safe, and reduce conflict and trafficking. These people play very different roles in their communities, but all of them, honestly, would be pretty deserving of this award. It was an incredibly difficult decision. And we did have the votes open, but as we had mentioned multiple times, these votes were not the only deciding factor here. So we also were weighing the people's merits, and many other factors went into this. All right, so first off, we have Sergeant Holly Vasquez, who you all might be familiar with from his presentation. And as a sergeant of police and a law student at the UWI, Sergeant Vasquez has brought a balance of enforcement, education, and advocacy to wildlife protection here in Belize. Since his induction into the Wildlife Ambassador Program back in 2022, he's dedicated himself to advancing the vision of conservation and sustainable development through collaboration. His passion for animals is both personal and professional, which drives Sergeant Vasquez to use his legal training to shape lasting solutions. Sergeant Holly Vasquez strives to be more than just an ambassador. He aims to be a bridge between law enforcement and conservation, thereby ensuring that protecting Belize wildlife today secures a more sustainable future tomorrow. And receiving such an award would recognize this commitment of Sergeant Vasquez's, as well as empower him to expand advocacy and champion stronger protection for our nation's wildlife. So moving on to our next nominee is Ms. Zaina El Jundai, sorry. She was a community ambassador at one of our latest workshops up in Corozal with the police. Ms. Jundai went out of her way to join this workshop, which kudos for that. And she has long dreamed of becoming a wildlife conservationist. She has recently focused her studies and recently earned an associate's degree in natural resource management. And since becoming a wildlife ambassador in July 2025, she's applied her knowledge to helping animals in need both at her school and in her backyard. So another great nominee, Ms. Zaina. We are on to our third, Ms. Victoria Chi from the Belize Forest Department. We also had a wonderful presentation from Ms. Chi earlier outlining some of these new rules. She has been nominated for the Hero Awards in recognition of her outstanding dedication and long-standing service to wildlife conservation. Ms. Chi has been with the Forest Department for over 13 years. In that time, she has served as a wildlife program manager and as the officer in charge of the range offices. In these roles, she has consistently gone above and beyond, prioritizing responses to human-wildlife conflict, leading confiscations of wildlife kept illegally as pets, ensuring proper court procedures are followed, and personally transporting injured or orphaned wildlife to safety. What sets Ms. Chi apart is her unwavering commitment and willingness to respond at any time, demonstrating that her dedication to wildlife is not just a job, but a passion. Ms. Chi's enthusiasm, professionalism, and energy have made a great impact on the protection of Belize's wildlife, and she's joined many of our ambassador program workshops as a guest speaker for the Belize Forest Department. Our next candidate is Mr. Asher Adolphus of the Belize Police Department. Constable Adolphus has always loved animals and always looks out to help them in any way possible. He also was the highest performing student in his wildlife ambassador training workshop, again with the Corozal Police Department in July 2025. And we look forward to continuing to help Asher fuel his passion for animals and appreciate his service towards his community. Next, we have another officer, Mr. Ludwig Pau from the Corozal Police Formation. Constable Pau says that, well, being part of the Wildlife Ambassador program has opened his eyes on how the ecosystems work and are connected, and that certain diseases can wipe out species within Belize for good. The Wildlife Ambassador training made him get a deeper understanding of how partnerships with different organizations can help Belize in order to maintain their own identity of animals and people. Taking care of animals doesn't only guarantee our safety, but the safety of others, the environment, and the animals themselves. Now we have teacher Stephanie Dawson from St. Edmunds in Tikal. Ms. Dawson impressed the team as an enthusiastic follower before even becoming a wildlife ambassador in 2025 as part of our first workshop focusing on teachers. Ms. Dawson firmly believes that starting with one person, changes can begin. And with it, a chain reaction of events will most certainly follow. Ms. Dawson is advocating for the conservation of all wildlife because she understands that we are connected. We need them and they need us. Ms. Stephanie Dawson believes that change is necessary so that tomorrow our children and in turn their children can admire and take care of the wildlife our country has. And we believe that she is part of this change for future generations. And additionally, I might add that Ms. Dawson is currently writing a book focused on wildlife. Next, we have Ms. Ashley Penados. Ashley is a wildlife champion and a recently graduated tour guide. She passed her wildlife ambassador certification in April of this year with excellent marks as part of the tourism class with Mr. Javier Gutierrez. Ashley loves animals and she also loves sharing the message of what saving them. She loves sharing the message of saving them with others. And we are sure that she will continue to make a difference and continue to spread awareness. Now we have Mr. Pedro Bol of the Belize Audubon Society. Pedro Bol has long had a professional career in conservation prior to his participation in the Wildlife Ambassador Program. Pedro is very passionate about nature and wildlife from the smallest to the largest. From years of cooperation in different areas, we are certain that Mr. Bol would be a deserving recipient of this Hero Award 2025. Next, we have Mr. Julio Noble, a marine biologist. Mr. Noble dedicates himself to the protection and conservation of wildlife. He is a marine biologist and has had the privilege to be involved in the conservation of marine life in a variety of ways. This includes work with sea turtles, fish, corals, and much more. Mr. Noble joined the Wildlife Ambassador Program in March 2023 as a community member from Consejo. And we hope that he will continue to remain involved as an ambassador for conservation, coexistence, and One Health in his community. Now we have Mr. Marco Diaz. Marco grew up enjoying the outdoors with a passion for hiking and exploring wild places. It was in 2012 when he joined the FCD Ranger team. And there he found out that it was his right place to explore, adventure, and protect the wild flora and fauna around him at the same time. As part of the active ranger team at that time, Marco did hundreds of patrols against looting, logging, shate harvesting, hunting and poaching, and even gold mining. He raised through the ranks of the Rangers and eventually became the chief ranger and instructor. This was a great opportunity to train and inspire other leaders and with the same vision and mission. With the previous experience gained, Marco now leads numerous patrols. One of the most productive patrols that his team did was when they, for the first time, managed to secure and rescue 7 scarlet macaques from the hands of poachers. Next, we have our candidate from the BRC or Belize Raptor Center, who is actually here helping us today, Miss Reina Choi. Reina has always tried to help where she can, whether that means educating others about wildlife or making sure an animal gets the care that it needs. Being a wildlife hero requires compassion and resilience because the challenges and losses can definitely be overwhelming. Yet every small act of care makes a difference, as Reina keeps demonstrating in her work at Belize Raptor Center. As the former Miss Earth Belize, Reina's advocacy for biodiversity conservation isn't something she has represented once. It's a commitment that she carries continuously, striving to help others to protect and value the natural world. Reina joined the ambassador program in 2023 and then again in 2025 in order to become a training assistant. Now we have Mr. Craig Gare, very near and dear to us here at the BWRC. While Craig is a community member, he has generously dedicated his time to multiple organizations over the years, constantly volunteering to support various causes, and his commitment to conservation extends across several groups, where he has quietly made countless meaningful contributions. From protecting macaws to rescuing baby tapirs or green iguanas and relocating snakes, the list goes on and on. Deeply respectful of his surroundings, Craig shows a great care for both wildlife and domestic animals, reflecting his strong values and dedication to protecting our environment, earning him this nomination as a wildlife hero. And now we have Mr. Eric Matz, also from the Friends for Conservation and Development. He has been a member of the team at FCD for 5+ years, and he has played a pivotal role in the Scarlet Macaw monitoring program in that time. He has not only directly protected this amazing species from poaching, but Eric Matz has also opened the eyes of so many volunteers over the years to the beauty and fragility of the Chickabull Forest Reserve and its amazing biodiversity. Now we have our 14th candidate for the Wildlife Hero Awards, Mr. Florencio Tech. Officer Tech joined the Wildlife Ambassador Program in October 2022. He was part of a small cohort out of that program who took an additional training in crocodile and snake conflict and response. As most of the program's trainees, he had little to no prior training. But shortly after that training, the hotline here at BWRC received a call, and we were informed that Constable Tech assisted with the relocation of a boa constrictor from a busy supermarket there in Belize City. The quick understanding and compassionate assistance avoided certain death for that snake and avoided risk for the community, which also set a great role model and led to his nomination for this award. And our final candidate for the Wildlife Hero Awards is Miss Debbie Galvez. Also attached to the Belize Police Department, Debbie Galvez participated in the Wildlife Ambassador Program alongside other officers in Belize City in 2022, where after initial hesitation, she demonstrated very strong interest and quickly became the highest performer in her cohort. Ms. Galvez immediately, after gaining awareness of the threats of illegal traffic and zoonotic diseases, showed her full commitment and dedication to enforcing wildlife law. Although now retired, Ms. Galvez remains a role model through her example, gaining her this nomination as a wildlife hero. So as we said, guys, it has been some very, very difficult decisions here. And I will hand it back to Gian to go ahead and announce our winners of this award.
All right. Thank you very much, Mats, for presenting all those wonderful people who have been working throughout all these years for the care of our wildlife in Belize, right? So I would just announce, I do have to point out that, I have no role in choosing it. It was a combination of votes and decision here by the Wildlife Ambassador Program team, the BWRC team. So I will just be presenting 5 of these winners today selected by the team. All right. So first, let's see. Our first Wildlife Hero Award winner for 2025 is Sergeant Holly Vasquez. So round of applause if you can in the chat. Up next, we have Miss Victoria Chi from the Belize Forest Department. Congratulations. Up next, we have teacher Stephanie Dawson as one of our Wildlife Hero Awards for 2025. So round of applause. Up next, Mr. Marco Diaz, Ranger, receiving also our Wildlife Hero Award winner 2025. So round of applause. And last and finally, we have Reina Cho from one of our community ambassadors. She works at BRC and she is an aspiring WAP trainer and former Miss Earth Belize. So congratulations, Reina, congratulations all our winners for today's Wildlife Heroes, right? So, okay, we do have a runner-up and honorable mention, who is all right, Eric Matz and Craig here. So from FCD and Craig, who's one of our volunteers. So congratulations, everyone. Guys, are very important people in the conservation of wildlife in Belize. I mean, it wouldn't be the same without all these people. So congratulations to everyone. I know there are prizes. How could you help me out? How does works, Matt?
Okay, guys, so for all of our 5 winners, and again, this was an incredibly difficult decision. So big thanks to all of you who were nominated. Continue doing the hard work, and trust me, we wish that we had prizes for all of you guys, but there are 5 winners. And again, Eric Max is our runner-up due to his just vast amount of votes and the work that he has put in. And our honorable mention, Mr. Craig Gare, just for all of the amazing work that he does for wildlife without a second thought. But now we are off to our winners. So we do have a bit of a gift package for you guys. Yeah, we need to make sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so our first prize for this winner nomination will be our Ultra Challenge bags, if they'll show it all. Then we have a WRC coffee mug for the winners, for each one of them, as well as some stickers, a fuel voucher, a copy of Tenuk the Tapir, a great book by Lee McLaughlin for the Belize Zoo. And for one winner, Miss Stephanie Dawson, we also have a copy of How Tiger Became Fire Tiger, due to the fact that Miss Dawson is also in the process of writing a children's book concerning wildlife. And of course, a Wildlife Hero t-shirt for each of these winners as well. And now we come into the next part of our winner prizes, in which we have some vouchers to give away. But we will have a bit of a process here. So we do need all of these names on a wheel for a moment. Yeah, if we can, with the 5 winner names. Sorry, just a second, guys, and we'll get right to sharing out these vouchers.
Maybe I'll take advantage and in the meantime, from the sidelines, say thank you so much to our sponsors for this event. Being, oopsie, do I need to sit? Maybe, okay. So we want to give a big thank you to Ian Anderson's Caves Branch, as well as Turtle Inn and Blancano. And last but not least, Mystic River Resort. Those are our certificates that we are awarding to the award winners. And you will notice we have 5 award winners and 4 certificates. So for the 5th awardee, we are offering a free ticket to our annual gala on the 1st of November at a value of $75.
Yes.
Okay.
No, yeah.
It's already there.
All right, so without further
Alright,
ado,
guys.
yeah.
Yeah, so we'll have our first spin and then I will be letting you guys know which prize that person gets. So you could go right ahead.
And
Our first winner is
Victoria.
Alright, congratulations again, Miss Victoria Chi. You've done outstanding work for protection of Belize's wildlife. And for that work, we'd like to gift you with a certificate from Caves Branch for 6 people for a guided tour of their botanical gardens as well as lunch included.
Amazing.
All right, and we will be in contact as to how we can best get this gift package to you as well. All right, and if we could go ahead and spin again.
Yes, you would need to remove her.
All right, for Mr. Vasquez, Sergeant Vasquez, my apologies. We have an amazing gift certificate for you here from the Turtle Inn down in Placencia for a dinner for 2 at the Mar restaurant. So I know that you are off studying, Mr. Vasquez, but we do have this certificate here for you and it's good until November 2026. So hopefully you can be around to go and enjoy that dinner by then. All right, now we have our third winner, Mr. Marco Diaz. For Mr. Diaz, we have a award for a romantic 3-course dinner for 2 with a bottle of wine from
Wow.
Mystic River Resort. So sounds like you have a nice date night ahead of you when you have the time, Marco. I know that he's a very busy guy, but hopefully he can make use of this soon. And on to our next winner. We have Miss Stephanie Dawson. All right. Thank you, Miss Stephanie Dawson, for all that you do, and I hope that you continue teaching the kids the right way. And we have here for you a 3-course dinner for 2 with a complimentary glass of wine from Blancano Lodge. So again, a very nice certificate from Blancano. And I guess that leaves us with our last award for Miss Reina Cho, which is a free ticket to our gala coming up this November 1st. So, all right, thank you again to all of our winners, all of our nominees, all of our viewers here today. Really, it wouldn't be possible without all of you guys. So we truly appreciate everything that you do for Belize's wildlife. And yeah, I do hope that you keep it up.
All right. Congratulations once again.